Tia Mowry thought she deserved a lot more than what she had. So she went out to the dating market. And then she found out this.
What'd I say? Dotting and bopping. Burping and slurping. Today, I'm using O'Shea Dude Jackson's breakdown of Tia Mowry and Halle Berry to prove one thing. You can't set your house on fire and then complain about the draft. I'm showing you a tale of two women within a tale of 2 decades. Halle, who traded her foundation for an Oscar years ago, and Tia, who traded a perfect marriage for a TikTok awakening. I'm gonna show you that these women aren't victims of the streets, but the architects of their own loneliness, who chose their ego over their unions. Let's jump into this.
If you were to ask me, I would say Halle Berry is known for 3 things. Number 1, being exceptionally beautiful.
Oh.
2, being an exceptionally
Not these pics. She is, but not these pics.
talented actress.
He's right, you know.
And 3, being absolutely terrible in relationships.
Damn.
If we were to go over every relationship that we know about with Halle Berry, it would literally take us so long that Jesus himself might get off the cross and make me stop.
Yo, why O'Shea violating like this?
Got him.
And not only has Halle Berry dated black men, her most tumultuous relationships have come at the hands of white men. There was Olivier Martinez, there was John Ronan, there was Gabriel Aubrey, and with 2 of the men, she had children. And the stunning thing about this is, despite the fact that Halle Berry is exceptionally beautiful, she's always dated men, for the most part, as she has gotten older, that make significantly less money than her.
Not always. You see, a lot of people don't know that Halle Berry was married way back when she was 26. And this is what happened.
We spent a lot of time apart because she was doing movies in this country, that country. We probably could have made it if I knew about therapy. If we knew about therapy, we probably could have made it because we never had any major issues like that.
That's a good dude right there. He's not even just putting the blame on her. He's here trying to say, maybe with therapy, things could have went a different way. Shout out to David Justice. This is a real one.
It's just that because I was young, and had only been in, honestly, one real relationship. I'm looking at my mom, and I'm a Midwest guy, so in my mind, I'm thinking a wife at that time should cook, clean.
Traditional.
And then I'm thinking, if we have kids, is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly.
He said, you don't have the skills to be a mom.
I've heard people say, something must be wrong with Halle Berry. She can't keep a man. Who's to say I want to keep a man? I don't want to keep the wrong man.
Halle, you've walked down the aisle 3 times and you've had children with 2 different men. This whole idea of who's to say that they were the wrong or right man. You have 2 of them that you're connected to for life. They have a seat at the table forever. Why these women fronting? I don't get it.
I was always saying to the universe what I didn't want. So guess what I did? I manifested what I didn't want. Yeah. So I really had to change my thinking. And instead of thinking of what I didn't want, I had to get intentional with what I did want. Wow. What was my perfect partner? What would he be like, feel like? What walk of life would he come in? Who would he be? How would he treat me? I got very granular with it. And then he showed up.
She's trying to sell this spiritual awakening to empower herself to say the failures of her marriages and the relationships that she had were her fault because she was manifesting the wrong thing. She was thinking about the negative. She should have thought about the positive. When in all reality, you would have never been with a dude like this if everything was going right in your life the way that you wanted it to. Let's be real.
Halle Berry, as she got older, she started dating men that made less money. She went from David Justice to Eric Benet to God.
I don't know if you guys remember this situation. This guy was he was a different type of dude. He couldn't stop.
Guys who were just the bottom of the barrel when it came to earning money. So much so that she was investing and spending money on these men.
So she lost her man who wanted a traditional home and traded it for a dude who don't bring anything to the table, really. She basically traded a partner for a payroll. You can't make this up.
And even though she's with Van Hunt, things just don't really seem right. It seems like Halle Berry is on this tour trying to make everybody feel like this choice that she has right now has been the best choice of her life. In my honest opinion, a guy like Van Hunt would have always been available to Halle Berry. But
that's a fact.
She just didn't want a guy like that.
She isn't at peace. She's just justifying why she's with a guy she would have never been with in the past. Like, no one's blind to this.
The fact is, the guys that she don't want her.
Woo!
And I got other proof.
These sisters are out here paying these white guys child support and spousal support. This is something that we don't see, right? Halle Berry ordered to pay Gabrielle Aubrey $16,000 a month in child support for their daughter Nala.
$16,000? A woman of Halle's stature doesn't end up paying a dude $16,000 a month in child support unless she's made some horrible choices in her life.
Halle Berry has settled for less. She's trying to dress it up as if she hasn't, as if she wanted a man like this. But I can guarantee you, if Halle Berry was 24 years old, she wouldn't give Van Hunt any time of the day.
She isn't empowered. She's out of options. She sabotaged her early opportunities with high-value men. And now she's trying to pretend like she's happy at the age of 59 it's like a participation trophy. Like, this selfish ideology doesn't just manifest itself when someone is focused on their career. It also shows up when someone just wants to be in the streets. Case in point, Tia Mowry.
In October 2022, Tia Mowry filed for divorce from her husband, Corey Hardrick. Now, it shocked the whole entire entertainment world, especially those people who knew about their story from the Black community, because people looked at Corey and Tia as an example of Black love. And Corey Hardrick didn't want the divorce. He wanted his family. But despite his plea to stay together, Tia Mowry went on ahead and hit the switch.
Focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay.
What is that? What is that? Like, focus on your happiness. I mean, unless this man really completely checked out and wasn't doing anything to ensure that you were entertained and felt loved, it sounds like you want to be thotting and bopping, but maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm tripping.
But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
Tia Mowry thought she deserved a lot more than what she had. So she went out to the dating market. And then she found out this.
What'd I say? Thotting and bopping, burping and slurping. All right, let me stop.
When dating was, when I was, dating this person, it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was wonderful. There was courting that was, involved.
Oh, really? Wait a minute, Tia. Because we're all about accountability on this channel. And it sounds like you just told the world that you left to find your happiness. But now you're complaining about the men in the streets that don't treat you as well as the man you just left. You left a good father and a man who courted you for a bunch of dudes who don't even respect who you are or even care who you are. In all honesty, I think it had a lot to do with the way you behaved when leaving this man, but we'll leave it at that.
And I was saying how I feel like that's no longer, present, meaning like people just don't court each other anymore. And this person was like, well, that's old news. Like people just don't do that anymore. There's just this whole new way of doing things. And I'm like, you mentioned tradition, and I think that's where it kind of needs to go back to, where, a man is courting a woman and showing
No. So she had the Black love blueprint. Been together, first boyfriend, no abuse, no toxic behavior, no cheating. And she traded that in for the streets. I don't feel bad for self-inflicted wounds. You know, that sounds like you shot yourself in the foot.
She discusses something that's very interesting. Number one, in either clip, the first one that we played or this one, she never accuses Corey Hardrick of any mistreatment. The only thing that she says is simply she wanted to prioritize herself, self-love, self-care, focusing on her own happiness. These are her words, not mine. In this particular clip, she admits that when she was dating Corey Hardrick, it was a beautiful thing. And in comparison to him, the men of today are not interested in showing that level of courtship towards women. She even cites it herself. She states,
when she makes those videos like that, where she's like, it's never too late to start in your 40s, like, it's cope. That's what it really is. It's massive cope, because that's what was on her mind. The fact that I'm going to start over and I'm going to start this day positive. I'm going to, like, this shit is sad. This shit is embarrassing, honestly.
That what is it about these men that they're not trying to go out of their way to show a woman that they want her, that they desire her, that they want her to be his? Well, Tia, maybe these men are focusing on their own happiness. See, Tia Mowry is facing an interesting dichotomy here, ladies and gentlemen. And that dichotomy is Tia Mowry wants what she desires for herself, but she doesn't care about what the other person is supposed to receive. And even if that person is making a constitutional effort to be in a relationship with her, it doesn't matter, because for her, it's about her self-worth, her happiness, and self-love.
I think if you only have the capacity to focus on self-love and your self-healing or whatever it may be, your awakening, why put someone through that? Why start a family? You know, it's like, focus on you.
Despite this, Tia Mowry has made a big announcement.
Hey, I'm doing okay. I truly feel like I'm really taking care of little Tia. You know, these past 3 years, oh my God, I'm about to cry. Sorry. I really feel like in these past 3 years, I have gotten to know myself. There have been lots of moments of solitude and silence, but I feel like that is where growth happens.
Lots of moments of solitude, huh? You're lonely? Huh? Is that what it is? Listen, I'm not even trying to make fun of this. Honestly, I just don't feel bad for her. Like, I don't feel bad for a woman making this decision to leave a good person who has only shown her love from what we know, and she hasn't expressed anything different about that. And now you're ready for love. So as much as I was making a joke before about her thotting and bopping and all that, that was her reason for leaving.
I'm ready. I'm ready to fall in love again. Like, I am ready for love.
Tia Mowry all of a sudden is ready for love again. And this is something that I notice, especially a lot of successful Black women do. They get to where they need to be, and then all of a sudden, you know, hey, I've healed myself. I'm ready to fall in love again. I'm ready to date. I'm ready to do X, Y, and Z. We played a clip where she is talking about caring only about herself, her own self-care, her own happiness, focusing in on self-love. She's now also being very selfish again. Now she's ready to love, and now she's ready to fall in love again on her terms.
Just like Halle. Tia thinks the world revolves around her and her awakening or whatever phase she's going through at the moment. You blew up a family so that you can find yourself. I don't think there's anything better to describe selfishness than that. And she thinks that after she finds herself, some high-value man is going to just be there waiting, that's going to court her and make things amazing again. It's not the way the world works.
The ecosystem where men are not getting what they want from women is just getting worse. And men are not going to sit around and wait for you. They're not going to sit around and wait for you to be ready to love. They're not going to also accept what you want to give them. And in order for Tia Mowry to be in a relationship with a man, that man has to be able to accept whatever she wants to give that man. And let me just tell you this, in Tia Mowry's case, when you're successful like her, other men watch how you handle your celebrity breakups. A lot of the sneak dissing that she did toward Corey Hardrick, throwing him under the bus, liking posts that were dissing him. It's not like men don't see this stuff. Men are not eager to deal with a woman who, in our opinion, let go of a perfectly good man.
And this shit was super whack. You didn't just leave him. You tried to ruin his reputation. Like O'Shea said, you think men don't see stuff like that? Why would any man want to take you seriously after that? And why would any man feel like you wouldn't just blow up their life the same way that you did to the dude that was extremely loyal and extremely genuine and extremely faithful to you? You come off looking like you just good for a good smash and dash. Just being honest. In all reality, you are going to end up either alone or like Halle. Just saying.
So if you were to let go of Corey Hardrick, who was, by definition, at least we think, a perfect father, a perfect husband, at least to what he could get, how then can we say that we would have a chance as a man?
See the pattern? Halle Berry had David Justice, a man who wanted a traditional home. She wanted an Oscar. Tia Mowry had Corey Hardrick, a man who wanted his family. She chose self-love. 30 years apart, but it's the same ego. Halle Berry's 59 and she's paying child support to some broke dude. Tia's 45 and she's crying about nobody's courting her or wants to be with her. They both had the prize, they threw it away, and now they want us to feel sorry for them. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. And I would hope that anyone who watches this video can learn from it that when you make certain choices in life, not saying that you shouldn't choose your career or anything like that, but I think everything should be done in moderation and in consideration of the person that you chose to align yourself with.